fellow moviegoers, and welcome back to my channel, Film Scene. I know it's been a while. I've been gone for about 3 weeks because I traveled abroad and went to go see my sister for a bit, but now I'm back and I wanted to review Big Little Lies on HBO for you guys. Oh, that rhymed. So yeah, let's get started. This is based on a book, and I haven't read the book at all. I went in there kind of blind. I didn't know the premise or the storyline or anything about that. All I knew going in was that Reese Witherspoon was the executive producer of this. I was very excited for that because I love her acting. I think that she's very well seasoned, and I was excited to see what she did with the show. So this stars Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, Zoe Kravitz, and 10 other people. It's just a very well-formed cast. So they all live in this seaside town, I believe it's in California, and it's a very, very affluent neighborhood. All their kids go to school together, and it's more about the women and their families and a murder that occurs during the season. And so the entire show, we don't know who died or why, the motive or anything like that. We're just kind of told as a history of the occurrences and the detective trying to figure out what happened. So that's kind of the season of the show. As I said, this cast is phenomenal. My favorite was definitely Nicole Kidman. She made her character so multidimensional, and I was very interested in seeing what would happen. She developed her character very well. Her acting with Reese Witherspoon, like their scenes together, made the entire show for me because you can tell how great of actresses they are, and it just made the show all more interesting to watch. I really love that it was on HBO because I think HBO and Showtime are just exceptional networks to have shows on because they focus a lot on the script, and then the acting and the set design and the costume are just cherries on top to a well-written script, and this show is no exception. I know that Valet was the one who directed this, and his directing was phenomenal as well. He made sure that the script and the story shined, and the characters had their own kind of side stories as well, which made the entire series just much more well thought out and very thorough. And I appreciate the directing as well. Moreover, Shailene Woodley has come a very, very far way from American Teenager. She was excellent, just excellent in this series. She was a mother and a friend, and she just played all those roles very, very well. In addition to, you know, being on screen with some very seasoned actresses, so I think that she held her own in this show. For sure. My favorite thing about this show was how well it was paced. Every episode something interesting happened, but they didn't reveal too much, and they didn't treat the audience like it was stupid either. And we come back week after week, and they had cliffhangers obviously, but each episode was an hour long, which I feel like was a perfect amount of time. It gave it a chance to show a little piece of the story, but also really, really delve into the character development. All of the reveals were revealed in a perfect way. They were perfectly timed. And when we found out who was murdered and why at the end, that was a huge shock to me, at least. I had no idea that was going to happen. It wasn't predictable for me whatsoever, which I absolutely, absolutely loved. And what I thought was really interesting was, yes, I was anxious to see what was going to occur at the finale, but the relationships between the characters kept me satiated enough in order to continue watching, and it kind of eased me away from the tension of finding out what was going to happen enough so that I enjoyed the ride, which was just brilliant writing and brilliant directing as well. They all the entire cast played really well on screen, and you could tell how much they loved their craft, and they all really worked out the dialogue very well. Yeah, I'm sure you can tell by now how much I really love the show. I'd probably give it like a 9 out of 10 for sure. I haven't found any issues yet, but I'm sure there are some because no show is perfect, obviously. But yeah, a 9 out of 10, and I highly, highly recommend you guys see this. It's on par with, I would say, Westworld. These two shows are quickly climbing my charts of favorite TV series in the past 5 years, like no doubt about that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!